Good morning, Steve Zonard here with Treviso Realty. Happy Monday morning. Just a real quick update on the current market. The inventory and the sales are exactly the same. We're at 18,462 units available in Southwest Florida. 384 selling, so very similar to last week. It's probably like 1% plus or minus. Estero the same, 681 units available, 15 homes sold in the last 7 days. We're actually seeing a good uptick even in resale market. So I'll give you an example. We listed a property on Friday, sold it Tuesday full asking, which is fantastic. So and we're still continuing getting showings, even though the property is contingent on financing and inspection. So we have to take that off the market today. And yeah, that's pretty cool. Then regarding new sales as well, we're still got a high interest. We're doing a few more deals right now. We're in negotiations with some more properties in Verdana, so we'll keep you posted on that because there is some pushback. I'll give you an example. We had a client that purchased a home in Verdana Village, didn't like the color scheme of the property, and again, we went from one product into another and got it for a great deal. So there was some details missed because of the good deal, and after the tile and stuff like that on the roof, they're not happy with the color. But the house looks great. They're happy with it now, which is fantastic. Makes my job easier. But one of the solutions was to contact the sales staff there at Lennar and ask them if we can swap the house. But they do this regularly. Sometimes they small to bigs or different positions. They're pretty easy to do that. So let's try to move and get into another property, maybe get a different color scheme. And yeah, it goes. Yeah, it's a possibility. Just remember what you paid and what they're going for today is like 25 to 30K more. So if you guys want to make the switch, we can do it. But there's going to be that added amount onto the purchase price, which obviously we don't want to do, because reality is the tile work here on the roof, it's made out of concrete. If it's barrel or it's slate, you can spray it. It's very porous material. Obviously, you're going to have to get the right paint for it, but you can spray it a different color if you really want to. But again, clients are happy with the property, so that's good. Yeah, that's pretty much it regarding real estate as a whole. We've taken a stack of keys. We're right now managing around 30 properties, so that's pretty good. And again, these are just properties that the clients have purchased, and then we're just doing the back end of it. We're not looking for promoting this to get build it as a business. We're just kind of helping out our clients with the management of this, because we want to have it a one-stop shop. So that's great. It's a great little. It's going to get it big right now. 30 properties. Probably going to have to put somebody part-time on it just to kind of make sure that's all taken care of, because the last thing we want is a lack of services with our clients. So we're gonna have to figure that out going forward. For Airbnbs and seasonal rents, all filled. Like all our properties are filled probably 6 months ago. So even now, like the properties that we're taking in, one of them is going to be a seasonal rent, and we already got action off market that we're going to lease it out already 2 months, Feb, March, for a substantial amount of money for the size of the property in Verdana, which is great. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And then there's the other, where else to invest if you were to invest. As always, had a conversation with a client on the weekend. Like, I still think Naples Park's going to be one of the best options. Why? Because it's at a gate. There's single lots available. Either they're vacant lots or there's old properties on it. And now back back last year when we were looking to build, was still building in Naples Park, we looked at vacant land, which was around $600,000 at that point for vacant land. Right now you can buy that same size property with a house on it, like a single story that's fully rentable for Airbnb for like $650,000, $700,000 right now. Some of them might need a little bit of work and stuff like that, but they're pretty decent. And just remember that at the height of the market, these were like 9.5 to $1 million. So you're buying at a very low period right now, and then ultimately you got to imagine this thing $200,000 to $300,000 more in value when the market gets back to where it was, which we're on the way, and I'll show you why. If you look at, this is some big news as well, like the 30-year fixed mortgage just went down to 6.35%, which is fantastic. If you're kind of looking at this administration over the last, this is the last 5 years, but you kind of look at, it's just jerky, up, down, up, down. You couldn't put a finger on it. It's just up, down, up, down. If you kind of see the new administration, they handed him, clearly, they try to jack up the rates as high as possible. So this is Jan 19th. So they give him 7%, right? Jan 12th to 19th. And then the Trump administration has been in a constant drip to bringing this down, and they're doing a good job with it. And this is no help with Jerome Powell, with the feds. This is all basically what they're doing to kind of get these numbers down. Because if you look at the 10-year yield, which is how banks lend, We hit a very, one of the lowest period since I think 2021. They were saying it was like a down to 4%, which we're currently at right now, like 4.038%. So this is going to be great going forward. Let me just check this on a 1 year. Yeah, you kind of see this nice drip. So they took the administration took power in January, so around here. Gave them this high bag. See this everything. They gave them the highest ever, just for failure, right? So like a nice last admin. Worry about the people, worry about their own parties, right? So then you're getting, this was like 1 day. And probably over the weekend it went down to 4%. But then you kind of see this constant fight, and now we're starting to go down, which is great. And the Feds are going to reduce rates this week, which is fantastic, or the 27th, so next week. So that'll be good too. We'll see what happens. If we get this thing under 5%, we're going to have like a severe market takeoff. This is why we're buying real estate. We're reinvesting in real estate in Southwest Florida based on this. I don't know all the other markets. I hear rumblings with Miami's overbuilt. There's issue there selling, but condos, like let's take condos out of the equation. And Orlando, Tampa, stuff like this. These are bigger, obviously, cities that have been overbuilt. So we're Southwest Florida. Here it's very, very small, like 1.2 million. So it's very, very small, very niche. And we're actually getting a shortage of houses right now, if especially with new construction going forward. What we've found right now is heavy amount of money getting put into commercial real estate. So is it like strip plazas, is it commercial units, whatever it is, buildings coming in. It's fantastic. Every parcel of land that's been disrupted, especially around us in Estero, off of Legal, like there's massive projects that are happening, which is good influx of cash coming into our little quadrant. And that's pretty much it. Also, like away from real estate, just to kind of talk about what happened even this week here with Charlie Kirk. Obviously, we were a fan, and it was very upsetting, clearly, to what happened, because this is not just an attack on Charlie. It's an attack on all of us that want to live that same life as Charlie, especially as a Christian. Family man and everything. So this is obviously a massive attack on the way we want to live and have our children's lives live. So this is a time not to kind of like, get into your shell. It's about time to like promote, and this is what we're trying to do as well as parents is get back into our faith, because I've been not struggling with this, but I've been pushing back and forth obviously my whole life with it. And then we started, this year here, just attending church prior to this, and it's amazing. We've actually gone to a non-denominational Christian church. I find it more interactive, and I learn a lot, and I can actually apply what we're learning in church into our daily lives, because the pastors are dealing with it as well. So it's like coming from someone that understands the gospel and can relate it into our lives, which is great. So, but this is what we need to do, is basically stronger the next generation, make sure that our kids have this great foundation, because we're seeing a lot of, misguided, especially at that age. You're so misguided, and you don't know who you are. I only found out who I was when I was 40. So to be 22 years old and be confused and thinking that murdering someone's going to be the right thing to do, you got to think, where's that kid's mindset at? He just murdered a beautiful man that's a father and a husband, and also this amazing movement that I didn't realize how big the movement was, in the sense how many behind the scenes activities that was taking place in order to kind of get this admin elected. And it's kind of amazing. Basically, we lost an incredible man, and all we can do is promote who we are, make sure our kids get a great foundation, make sure they don't get suckered into this. My fear is always with kids going to college. I know there's a big indoctrination up north and even down here, clearly. So this is obviously a screen that we need to do as parents, and make sure we hold our kids tight and make sure that they're doing the right thing and not being indoctrinated by people around them that have sick minds. Let's just say that. But it's pretty much it, guys. Have an amazing day. We'll talk soon.